Welcome to the Farming Without the Bank podcast, the show with a no BS approach to money, hosted by a farm strategy expert and authorized IBC practitioner. Join us as we get real and expose the flaws of traditional financial institutions in order to help farmers take control of their finances, create peace of mind, grow their wealth, and leave a legacy. Now, here's your host, Mary Jo Ehrman.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast. Thank you very, very much for tuning in yet again. I have had so many awesome reviews from so many awesome people, and I love it. I love to hear that we can't wait till Friday mornings. And, I heard the other day I go out, I do chores, and by the time I get in, it's ready. And the podcast is up, and that's what we're listening to. And so those are awesome things to hear. I absolutely love it and appreciate it. And, I just heard recently as well that we are in the top 100 financial podcasts in Canada. And holy moly, I had no idea. So that so many Canadians are listening. And so hello to Canada. Okay, so today let's talk about what's going on with this economy? Oh my gosh. Those of you that follow me on Facebook have probably heard it already because I tend to do a lot of Facebook Lives in the heat of the moment when I am super irritated with whatever is going on. So you may have already heard this, but we are going to tackle it again for those of you that are not on Facebook, which is most farmers, because you guys do not love social media. Even though you're on there, you are not huge communicators. That's okay. I'm okay with that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the virus. Let's talk about the economy. I'm not going to talk a lot about the virus because we hear enough about the virus on the news. If you want information about the virus, go listen to the news. What I am concerned about, obviously because I'm on the finance side, is what is happening with our economy because of the shutdowns. What's going to happen? We've already, and you guys, I've talked about it forever. We were expecting a recession the end of the year and really feeling it in 2021. And so as I'm recording this, I see that the market was up yesterday. I forget the reason why, but the market was up yesterday, but we had a significant drop. I had people that I talked to that were anywhere between 14 to 50% less in their IRAs, investments, whatever they had, than they were prior to anything that was happening. And so that is a huge hit in a very short period of time. Now, the things that get me are just the typical sayings of hang in there. It'll come back, hang in there. Or I've been seeing a lot of people saying, well, you should be buying now because it's on sale. And so let's address some of those with a precursor that I am not a financial advisor. This is not advice of what to do, but it surely is my opinion. And you can take it, you can leave it, you can love it. I really don't care. But it's my opinion. I've lived through it in 2008 and 2009. I was the person that lost 50% of my IRA because I listened to the BS of leaving it in my account. Leave it in there. It'll come back, Mary Jo. You're young. Okay, leave it in there. I hardly had anything in there anyway. Because guess what? We were like every other young couple and we were struggling. And we didn't have a lot of debt, but we were working for other people, not making a ton of money. You actually start to get somewhere about 40 typically. And so when I'm losing, I didn't like 401ks to begin with. I didn't like IRAs. I worked at an accounting firm, people. I was working at an accounting firm. No, I was not an accountant, but I was working at an accounting firm. They bring us all in and they say, here's your 401k package and sign up and put some money away. Well, of course, the financial dude didn't stick around long enough for me to ask questions. So who do you go to? You go to the partners of the firm thinking they're accountants. They would know. I remember very explicitly, they're like, well, I don't know what you should invest in. You don't know? Like, you're an accountant. You tell people to put money into IRAs and 401ks to avoid taxes. And they had no idea. They didn't really know what they were doing with their own money. They were just doing whatever the broker said they should do or whatever the advisor for that group said that they should do. And so it was very disheartening to me. It was very concerning. And so I just didn't like it. I had always been, since the time I was 24 years old, I had been a Robert Kiyosaki fan. I had worked previously from the accounting place. I had worked at a place where my boss owned real estate. And so he would share all this real estate information with me. And I was just fascinated with it. And so I didn't love the market. But I didn't have anybody I could go to even talk about it. My parents didn't have money in the market. They were farmers. And so 08, 09 comes along and I lose 50% of everything I had. And you hang in there, hang in there. Well, thank God I came across Nelson Nash in 2010 and I just took out whatever I had left. And you're going to have a 10% penalty. Well, shoot, I'd have rather had the 10% penalty than a 50% loss. And let's talk about this 10% penalty. The 10% penalty, the dumb tax, I call it. Because let's be honest, it is not a penalty. It is a tax. The government cannot just penalize you on anything. It's a tax. It's just like health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, they penalize you, which is a tax, because that is the only legal way they can take money from us is by taxing us. So it is a 10% tax on your money. I call it the dumb tax. You're too dumb to understand your own finances, so we're going to punish you if you decide to use that money before 59 and a half. Okay. So fantastic. I'm 40 and the virus is killing the economy and I need access to money. So what is their solution today? We'll give you a loan. If you're a business owner, we're going to give you a SBA loan. Well, guess what? Guess what? Those SBA loans are not for everybody, but even if I did qualify for an SBA loan, or if you qualify for an SBA loan, isn't that nice of them to give you a loan and allow you to have another payment you didn't plan for? Isn't that awesome that as an employer, you get to pay your employees for family leave and sick leave, even if you have less than 500 employees? That is now something that Trump mandated. I'm all for taking care of our employees. But if we have to do those things as a small business that has not managed finances, there won't be a business for those employees to come back to, and they're not going to get a check because the company's going to file bankruptcy. This is a lose-lose situation, people. Employees are losing, employers are losing, small businesses are losing. This is not good for the economy in general. It's not good I have yet to talk to a business that is not affected by this. From contractors to life insurance agents to farmers, I have yet to talk to anybody that is not affected by this. As a farmer, your commodities did not go up when the stock market fell. I don't quite understand that. I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't understand it. Typically, it's one or the other. I need to investigate that. So let's get back to this market thing a little bit. What I've been seeing is these market fans that say, buy now. This is the time to buy. Mary Jo, you're giving terrible advice. Again, not advice, right? My opinion. Buy now. With what? What in God's creation am I supposed to buy stocks with? I need my savings to live because I don't have a job. Or I didn't have any savings in the first place because I'm not making enough money to put money away. How many people have actually planned for the recession? I have been planning for the recession for at least 6 years because guess what? I knew it was coming. Most people are not studying finances. They didn't know it was coming. Who's got money in there? Who's got money set aside to put into the market right now and to buy? You're just flipping hanging on the best you can, and you're supposed to be buying? That is not the average person. The average person puts money into the market, they give it to the investment guy, girl, and that person is supposed to manage it. Buy now? With what? And then here's another thing on the hang in there. Just hang in there. You know what that feels like to me? Or what it felt like to me when I was hanging in there? It was like someone was in my house stealing everything, and I just got to let them decide when they were going to stop. And then I got to thank them for that. Thanks for stop stealing. And if you ever want to bring that back slowly, you can bring my stuff back. That'd be awesome. That's exactly what that feels like to me. Why do we allow that to happen? And we're okay with it. If I said to you, hey, you give me $10,000 a year and I'm going to decide if I have it grow, I'm going to decide if I use it, I'm going to decide if I take it. You wouldn't do that. You would not do that. In fact, it is so opposite. When we put money in the market, we expect to lose it. We are okay with it. Just like we are okay with the weatherman never being right on the weather. We're okay with losing money. We say, well, there's nothing we can do about it, or I'm not even going to look at it. I won't. That's what I've heard over and over and over and over in the last 2 weeks. Well, I'm not even going to look at it. I don't want to look. What? You don't want to look? Why would you not look at what's happening? That's where your money's at. Here's the deal, folks. I have a couple of clients who are taking the match. They're putting money into their 401k, but they have that money invested inside of a money market in that IRA or in that 401k. The money does not need to be in the market. It doesn't need to be in stocks. It can go into a money market. And one of my clients is very adamant about this. He's like, I have had my money in this money market for years, and all of my coworkers tell me I'm an idiot. But every year the match increases how much money I have. I don't lose anything. I don't really make anything, but it increases because of the match. He goes, now who's getting the last laugh? I'm not losing any money. Well, they're all freaking out about their retirement. So can we watch what's happening? Could we move it to this cash account and then move it back once the market comes back? I mean, we know by history, I've listened to Dr. Robert Murphy enough, we know by history that we have 4 ups and downs before we have the major crash. In every recession, we've had a down and then it goes back up and then it goes down and a little more and then it goes back up and then it'll go down a little more and then it goes back up and then it goes and it crashes. And so is this just the first one? Are we going to actually get back to where we were? I don't know. And neither does anybody else. I don't care how many letters you have after your name. If you knew what was going on in the market and exactly what was going to happen, you'd be making a ton of money. And you'd be the person that everybody talked to. But nobody knows. It's the biggest gamble ever. But when you give me your money, when people call me and they say, Mary Jo, how secure is that life insurance company? Did you ask how secure your IRA was and your 401k was? Did you go to the bank and ask them if FDIC has any money? And I'm not beating up on you guys here, but isn't that a little bit ironic that we ask about the life insurance and we have to vet the companies and we do our due diligence when we talk about the infinite banking concept, but we do not do our due diligence when we walk into a bank to make sure that they're financially stable. We don't do it when we walk into a financial advisor's office. The majority of us. There are some of us that do, but the majority of us probably do not. Because we anticipate the fact that, you know what, they're just going to do the best they can. It's okay. But when you come to me and I have guarantees, now we have a lot of questions. Is that because I'm teaching? Or is that just because this is so out of the norm that we feel we need to ask those questions? So it's so normal that we don't ask the questions on the other side and we don't look because we don't want to know. I don't want to know. I talked to a guy the other day. He had to be close to 65. And he said, I just don't think we're going to be buying a new vehicle this year. And, we just haven't even looked. I said, you have not looked to see what you lost. Nope, we just haven't even looked. Because there's no point in looking. It's already gone. So why would people look? Because nobody tells you can put your money into this money market. I've been beaten up that this is horrible, a horrible opinion, aka advice, according to some. This is a horrible opinion. Is it a horrible opinion? It's my opinion. I can have whatever I want. I've lived through it. I will not do it again. I am not going to go play roulette with my investments. I'm not going to do it with my savings for retirement. We know we are going to retire, yet we gamble it away. Do you take everything to Vegas with you when you go, or do you just take enough that you're okay losing? That's what you should have in the market if you're going to play the market. Or maybe put it into life insurance first, borrow against life insurance, and then go put it in the market. Whatever tickles your fanny, right? Okay. I think that is enough for today. So we had to cancel South Dakota. We had to cancel Iowa seminars. Due to this virus, they would not let me have more than 10 people in a room. And I was really trying to be the rebel and I was refusing to cancel. I would have handed out some vitamin C packets. However, I understand we cannot spread it. I get it. So we are going to try to reschedule. I have no idea when. You guys know the only good times are, I only have about 4 months out of the year. And the majority of those 4 months, I'm contending with snow and horrible weather. And then you would have to cancel because of weather. If you guys want to see me, tell me what month. Email me, maryjo@withoutthebank. Tell me where you want to see me and tell me what month would be the best option. If there is a month that would work fantastically for your area that people are not in the field, they're not calving, let me know. And I did not move it to a webinar because honestly, I can't stand webinars. I sign up for them. I do not attend them. And then I get the video and I speed it up and listen to it in double time because I do not have the patience. Now in person, that's a different story. I could sit and listen all day, but I cannot do that at a webinar. So boring. So let me know, where do you want to see me? If you've not gotten the book and you've just tuned in or you haven't decided yet, go to farmingwithoutthebank.com and you can get all of the books there. Wealth Without the Bank, Farming Without the Bank. You can get Nelson's book, Becoming Your Own Banker. Go there, order the book, and then give us a call. And we would be happy to visit with you. We, meaning I, would be happy to visit with you, look at your numbers, whatever. So if you have thoughts, concerns, anything else, let me know. maryjo@withoutthebank.com. Thank you all, and keep your social distancing. All you farmers have a hard time with that. Okay, talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to the Farming Without the Bank podcast. We hope today's episode has inspired you to take control of your finances in new ways. Don't forget to check out our website, farmingwithoutthebank.com, and engage with us on our Facebook page, Farming Without the Bank. Join us next week as we smash more financial myths and empower you to accomplish your financial goals.